It was there that Joseph was sold to a noble Egyptian, a high-ranking official in the Pharaoh's court. And so, dear listeners, Joseph's journey continues as he faces new challenges and trials in the land of Egypt. According to the Quranic account, when Prophet Joseph was serving as a trusted slave there, his master's wife attempted to seduce him. She was attracted to Joseph's beauty and righteousness, and she made persistent advances towards him. However, Joseph remained steadfast in his devotion to Allah and rejected her advances. The Quran describes the incident as follows: "And she, in whose house he was, sought to seduce him. She closed the doors and said, 'Come you.' He said, 'I seek the refuge of Allah. Indeed, He is my master, who has made good my residence. Indeed, wrongdoers will not succeed.'" Quran 12:23. In this verse it is mentioned that she tried to entice Joseph by closing the doors, indicating her intention to engage in an illicit relationship with him. However, Joseph immediately sought refuge in Allah and firmly refused her advances. He recognized the gravity of the situation and sought protection from Allah, affirming his commitment to righteousness and resisting wrongdoing. Despite Joseph's refusal, she persisted in her efforts and falsely accused him of attempting to seduce her. She gathered the women of the city and presented them with a fabricated story, pointing fingers at Joseph as the one who had pursued her. However, Joseph's integrity and righteousness remained unwavering. When the man heard his wife's accusations, he called for Joseph and confronted him with the allegations. Joseph defended himself and presented his side of the story, asserting his innocence and recounting the events truthfully. The Holy Quran describes it as, "Joseph said, 'She sought to seduce me,' and a witness from her family testified, 'If his shirt is torn from the front, then she has told the truth, and he is of the liars. But if his shirt is torn from the back, then she has lied, and he is of the truthful.'" Quran 12:26-27. To support his claim, Joseph pointed out the tear in his shirt, which indicated that he had resisted her advances, and the tear was a result of her attempt to pull him towards her. The testimony of the witness from her own family confirmed Joseph's account, stating that if the tear was in the front, it would support her claim, but if it was in the back, it would expose her lies. In an attempt to showcase Joseph's beauty and prove her point about his allure, she arranged a banquet for those women and invited them to witness Joseph's presence. She gave each of them a knife, likely for peeling fruits or as part of the banquet's preparation. When the women saw Joseph, they were mesmerized by his exceptional beauty, to such an extent that they were overcome by their emotions. In their astonishment and admiration, they unintentionally cut their hands while absent-mindedly peeling the fruits or handling the knives. The women's shout in exclamation, "Perfect is Allah! This is not a man, this is none but a noble angel." The Quran mentions their reaction in the following verse. "So when she heard of their scheming, she sent for them and prepared for them a banquet and gave each one of them a knife and said to Joseph, 'Come out before them.' And when they saw him, they greatly admired him and cut their hands and said, 'Perfect is Allah! This is not a man, this is none but a noble angel.'" Quran 12:31. This incident further highlights Prophet Joseph's exceptional physical and spiritual attributes and how they captivated those who encountered him. It is important to note that Joseph's character and righteousness were not defined solely by his outward appearance, but also by his inner strength, piety, and moral fortitude. In the end, the truth prevailed, and Joseph's righteousness became evident. However, despite his innocence, Joseph was still unjustly imprisoned. Nonetheless, this unjust ordeal would later play a significant role in Joseph's journey and eventual rise to power.